On my path in my life, I discovered yoga probably around 17, 18 when I was doing power yoga and, like Ashtanga power yoga, vinyasa. And it was quite excellent. It was really opening me up. My physical body was tense. I could feel things starting to move. And over time of doing that type of practice, I started to notice myself shifting internally. The things that I like to do were changing, the types of food that I wanted to eat, the places I wanted to go, the people I wanted to be with. And so I said, wow, there must be something to this yoga, you know? and I had moved up to Jacksonville, and I was doing the practice on my own. And I was, at that point, I started getting more into like Hatha yoga, and I was doing more of the outer practices. And some breathing, but really just starting to open the body. And I was at a kind of transition point in my life, and it just so happened that I guess when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, So I was working as a massage therapist and doing body work, and Randy had come in for some work on his neck, and we started talking, and all of a sudden I found the wealth and vastness of his knowledge, and it was just so intriguing to me to find out more about yoga and meditation. And so he brought me my first book, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and I asked him, I'd love to get together with you and do some practice. And so I had the grace of his teaching. We did for that next year, intensively, one-on-one sessions, probably 4 or 5 days a week for about 4 or 5 hours per session. So it was unbelievable, to have that type of transmission. And I would just sit. Sometimes it would be way over my head. I'd be like, okay, I know this is good, but I don't even understand. And over time, just staying in that and being open, it kept permeating deeper and deeper, and I would start to understand. And there's something called Shakti, and this is the conscious energy. And the Shakti can transmit herself as a conscious energy to awaken from teacher to student. And so this Shakti had started transmitting, and through our lineage, also Hasidic yoga, and I started having experiences in my meditation, very profound experiences, all different types of experiences, and everything from hearing the inner sound, which was most divine music I've ever heard in my entire life, to experiencing out-of-body experiences, where my energy field could lift out of the physical body, and I would start to experience things when they call astral plane, and as my meditation deepened, causal plane, where I was experiencing the field of my mind, and seeing it from the witness, and being able to, see how thoughts arise, and how a single thought will lead into a chain of thoughts, and that chain of thoughts will become an emotion, which then brings it to the energy field, and that emotion will bring it to a physical experience of the body. So I was experiencing all of these different things, and through my experiences, whenever something new would come up, I'd call Randy, or next time I'd see Randy, I'd be like, Randy, this happened to me, what does it mean? What do I do next? How do I go further? And so he guided me throughout the last 9 years, really. Randy has been guiding me through my different experiences. So, I could tell you guys so many different stories, but, I guess we're not here for that. Maybe some other time we might have some tea or something, and we can talk about it. But anyhow, it's been an amazing journey. Lots of healing and lots of realigning myself on different levels with my true nature, and really, finding and understanding and being able to develop and have this passed on to me, this light of knowledge. The lamp of knowledge was lit, and so through my experiences, it's been a process of integration, of integrating that. And so knowledge integrated, or knowledge that you act upon, is wisdom. So that becomes wisdom as an integration of knowledge. So I'm so grateful, and so Randy, just to give you a little bit of his background, he could probably do a lot better story of this than me, but I'll just go kind of briefly. He was born into a beautiful family. His mom and dad are just spiritually oriented and spiritual beings. You can feel it when you meet them and talk to them. But his family, he was a fourth generation Christian Science healer practitioner family. And Christian Science, if you're not familiar with it, is a non-dual teaching of the Christ teachings, so non-dualism. And so at 12 years old, he had his first out-of-body experience where his breath stopped, his heart stopped. He transcended out of his body and was in communion with these spirit sons, which, as he describes, were, a field of the most immense light and these even more potent centers of light that were telepathically communicating and pervading his body. So the energy of this light just knew him completely and intimately beyond, what he could even hide from or anything. It was testing him and teaching him and showing him different things. And maybe he'll get into more of that story, but that was at 12 years old. He had this incredible awakening out of his body and came to understand that he wasn't his body, that he was something immensely more. So his first spiritual awakening, 12 years old. And he continued after that to try and understand it more through books and different teachings, and found the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and found Buddhism, and started to study all the different religions and systems around the world. So he has gone through college, a degree in religion, a degree in philosophy. He's been initiated as a bodhisattva into the Buddhist tradition. Also, 27 years, or now 30-something years, 33 years ago, he was initiated into Siddha Yoga through Shaktipat with Swami Muktananda, who is on the top of your chanting page, the center figure. So Swami Muktananda, and over the years, he had spent lots of time with him, ashram, and doing different intensives, and was, I don't know how you say it, initiated as a meditation instructor by Swami Muktananda. So, so he's, and now all this time doing his own practice and continuing to develop on this thing. So, just the vastness of his understanding, and not just, one system, okay, this is it, I'm linear, I'm just doing this one thing, I know it really well, but really taking the time to understand the world and all the world views and all the world religions and all the belief systems. And from what I know about him is that, all of these are just different ways of describing the one eternal truth, the one truth, and it's based upon principles. And we're going to get into a system today a little bit called Kashmir Shaivism, and this is a system that seems to have really organized and put it into a progressive way that we can look at it and understand it from the finite, from where we are, to infinite, and just see how these layers are put upon creation. So it's we'll do some different practices, and Randy's going to lecture and teach, and so I guess without further ado, I would like to introduce you guys to Rishi, which means seer, and Abhidhut, which means great wisdom or crazy wisdom. Okay, Rishi Randy Martin, and thank you, Randy.
Thank you. Namaste. Welcome from the bottom of my heart to all of you. It's so good to have you here. And you wouldn't have come here unless you're ready to bestow wisdom upon yourself, to allow yourself to remember who you are. That's the reason why we're brought together. It is out of the great love of the one that the many come together to remember the oneness. And that's what's happening today. What you are ready for, you will receive. And, there's no force, there's nothing you have to worry about or feel anxious about. You've come to a point in your experience where you're ready to awaken to who you are. And I am that. You are that. All of this is that consciousness that is already awake. You're not going to someday be better or more than you are. You're just going to realize who you already are.